Hi, I'm Tara, CEO and Creative Strategist at Shovel Creative, and right now I'm going to talk about how to define your target audience. And I know defining your target audience can be scary because you're alienating all those other people who you're not picking to be part of your target audience, all those people who could be buying things from you. But here's the thing, even if, say, out of the 6.9 billion people on this planet, say 1 million people want your product or service, say if you sell it for $1, that's $1 million. When you can get really specific on whom you're targeting, then you can speak their language and start to use imagery and colors to really get into their world and know how to best serve them and reach them. So remember, by targeting everybody, you target no one. So here are some tips on how to define your target audience. First tip. Now this may seem obvious. Take the time to sit down and make a list of who your current clients or customers are, and do this by their first and last name, their job title, and the company they work for. Now, a lot of times you may think that it's whoever owns the company that you're doing work for if you're a B2B company, but not always the case. For example, for us, we work primarily with marketing directors in companies and not the owner of the company. Tip number 2. Get super specific on the traits of these people and what's important to them, both professionally and personally. Even though you may think you know what these client traits are, you may be a little surprised once you start to really think about them and write them down. We actually did this internally through an online marketing program called B School with Marie Forleo, which is amazing, by the way. And we were a little shocked. Previously, I just had this notion in my head that most of our clients were men, business owners, and maybe somewhere in their 40s, upper 40s, low 40s. And when we actually sat down and did the math and wrote this all out, we discovered that actually most of the people we deal with on a day-to-day basis, the people who hire us, the people we work with and make that final hiring decision, are female marketing directors in their low to mid 30s. They typically have 2 little kids. Many of them work home 1 day a week, and they're completely overwhelmed with all of the tasks that their bosses are throwing at them and that they have to manage within the company. They wear multiple hats. Their career and their family life balance is very important to them. And though we have other clients who don't fit into this model, most of them do. So now moving forward, we're going to be thinking about that when we put images on our website, through our messaging, anything that we put out there that portrays our brand. We now need to be thinking about, okay, how can we speak to this target? How can we, get into their heads, and how can we best serve them? So again, take the time to actually sit down and make this list. So anything from age, gender, education level, what they like to do for fun, what is their family life like, what do they read, where do they go, etc. And then every decision that you make regarding how people see, hear, interact with your brand, always ask, would this person understand this? Would this person be into that? Tip number 3. Now, what if you sit down and you make this list of people whom you're serving and you're thinking, this really isn't the audience who I want to be serving, or there's this other audience over here that I wish we were reaching, but we aren't. So yes, this happens all the time, and this actually happened to me when I moved here to San Diego from Colorado about 5 years ago. When I lived in Colorado, I did a lot of work in the action sports industry, and after moving to San Diego, just from people who I was meeting, I started getting into other industries like the gaming industry and biotech and healthcare and a number of others. And while I still love serving people in those industries, I started to miss action sports and mainstream sports. So, as of the first 2 tips of identifying who your clients are and what their traits are, I had to work backwards. We had to first start aligning ourselves with and hanging out with vendors and companies who were already serving the sports industry here in San Diego. And we did this by going to events they were at, and even now sharing an office space with a company called Hype Media, and most of what they do is action sports and mainstream sports. And then we started to actually learn more about our prospect clients' traits here in San Diego. Most of us are created with social skills for a reason, to actually talk to people and to ask them. Plus, this is a great way to build relationships with prospect clients, to talk to them and ask them about what makes them tick and what's really important to them. And while we still do a lot of work for other industries, which we love, don't get me wrong, we're starting to slowly build up our action sports and mainstream sports portfolio again, which is fun, just makes us happy. So there you go, 3 tips on how to define your target audience. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share it with your friends via the social media icons below. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you next time. My mom, she always used to sing to us when we were getting up for school in the morning, and that's how she would wake us up. She would come in and she'd go, "Get up, get out of bed, get up, you sleepyhead, see how the sun is shining. Get up, then move your toes, get up, it's time to go. We've got a lot to do today."